Hi lads, in this video I'm going to go through the activities on page 59 of your booklet. The first one tells us to first of all draw a box that is 180mm tall and 200mm wide, which is basically the width of halfway across the sheet. And inside this box here we're going to fit our orthographic views of the solid shown. So our elevation looking in the direction of arrow A, which is going to go on the right hand side of the page. An end view in the direction of arrow B going into the left hand side of the page. A plan, which is called C, looking down on top of it. So in this activity the main thing that we want to focus on is positioning our drawing on the page that we have it equally spaced and centered. So to do that, you'll see in the other video as well of the actual booklet, what we do is we add up our distances going across. So their total width is going to be 200. So if I just write that out there, total width equals 200mm, and what we need to do first of all is add up the measurements going across the page. So the first thing here is we're going to have our end view on the left hand side, and the total width of that is going to be 60, so we get 44 plus 8 plus 8, so that's going to be 60. What we're going to do is, just like in the video for the book, we're going to give it a 15mm gap in between our elevation and our end view. So we're going to have 15 there, and then we're going to add on our elevation, which is going to go on the right hand side, and that's a total of 50 plus 20 plus 20 gives me 90, and that gives me a total of 165mm. What we do then is we take those measurements away from each other to see what we've left over to give us an equal distance on each side for where we step in for our elevation and our end view, and that gives us a total of 35mm. And what we then do is we divide that by 2 because we want it equally spaced on both sides. And we divide that by 2, we get 17.5mm. So 17 or 18mm will be grand, it'll be evened up. After that then we need to take our height. So how far down are we going to go and how far up are we going to go to have our tree views spaced nice and neatly in the centre of the page. So we take our total height, and we're told that is equal to 180mm. So before the video I just measured down 180 there and drew that line across. Next thing to do is figure out what heights am I going to have. So the first thing is, for my elevation and end view, my total height is going to be this height here, which is 50 plus 20, which gives me 70. I'm going to have a 15mm gap in between my elevation and my plan, so I add that in there as well. And then the width of my plan is going to be 60mm, which is given there as well. When we add those three together, we are going to get a total of 145mm. So what we do then is we take away the 180 from the 145, and once again that's going to leave us with 35mm. We divide that by 2. We want even space on the bottom and the top, so 17.5, or if you want to go 17 or 18 as a difference. So now there's all our measurements given. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to measure in 17 there, take that line up, and then my first width, my elevation is going on the right hand side, so I take my total there, 90. I have a 15mm gap in between each view. I then go 60mm, and that leaves me at the end there with my 17.5 then as a result. I can take all those points up there as a result as well. So you can see here, in between these lines, my elevation and my end view are going to fit in between there and there. My plan is going to go below here. So same above, going 17.5 down. My first height down is 50 plus 20 gives me 70. We take a 15mm gap in between, and then it's 60. So the actual width of the plan. What that leaves us below then is our 17 as well. Now we take all those lines across there. You can see now, one box here for our end view, one box here for our elevation, one box here for our plan, and we just disregard that one there. So we'll just line them up like this here to connect our views together, like the way we would with our 45-degree set square. You can see where we're getting our angles from then. So you can see here it fits nice and neatly inside this box then, all centered. Next thing I'll do is I'm going to draw my XY line. So the XY line, always drawn in heavy, and it always goes in the line where our elevation and our end view starts. So the elevation is up in the direction of our eye. First thing I do is take my heights. So I go up 20 first, and the 50 left over will give me the 70 there, plus the height. I also then have a height of 50 on the right hand side here. I'll take that across as well. My widths, I have 20 for there, and I have 20 at the other end as well. Take those up there. And what I can do now is start to draw this outline here. And for now I'm going to leave my elevation there. I know there's going to be hidden detail because of this curve here and this curve here, but when I get my actual semicircles drawn in other views, I'll be able to put that in then as a result. So that's going to be seen in my end view. So I'll tell you, draw an elevation in the solid up in the direction of our A. That's that part drawn there for now. Then project a plan. So plan always goes below. So I take my widths down here, and I draw what I see looking in this way. So I can see at each end here, I have 8 there and 8 there. So I mark those. So 8 there, and 8 there. That line all the way again there, and this one here, and then I also go with the 8 across here as well, and here too. And that's my plan now drawn in. So far, just show my colour, my elevation. So I see looking this way in red. So I can see all this surface here. Just so I can see when I'm looking at my elevation. My plan. You can see this, this, and this. And I can also see, and it's the same in my elevation, if I was to look in there and remove that, I'd be able to see this curved surface here. And then just put that in red as well. So you know it's been blocked with hidden detail, it's still part of the elevation. And then I have this section here. and then my end view, let's call that in blue. My end view is the next view I'm going to draw. You can see this side here looking in this way. That's the next view I'm going to draw. So as always, we take our points across and up to 45 degrees. And they can go straight up there. Our height's already taken across. So you can see the outline at the front. It's gone up to the 50mm mark. Then goes across the 8mm. And there's going to be a semicircle here. And then it connects to the opposite side here. So the gap that's left between is going to be 45mm. Or sorry, 44mm. So I then go 22 as the halfway point. Get my compass. And swing my radius 22 in between the two of them there. Just let that focus first. So you can see there I took my centre point here and then swung my arc around there. And then for the further one at the back, I can see that it goes all the way up to the top. So I can extend this line here, this line here. It comes in the 8mm as well, each side. And then it's also at the same height here as this one. So both these line up here. So that semicircle at the back is already drawn because they're both in line. And all I need to do now is take that height there, that height there down, and then drop that one there, and I take this line across. It's going to give me the bottom line of my hidden detail for here. If I'm looking this way, we can't see that point there, and we're looking here, we can't see that point there. And also run a line across here to represent this line there, also a hidden detail. And just to finish this question off, I'm going to take two lines across here, two lines across here, and in between them I'm going to write out my elevation, plan, and my end view here. And that completes the first question. For the next question, what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend my XY line across here and mark it just like that there. And this time what I'm going to do is I'm just going to centre my drawing across the way. So if I measure it there, I can see that the width of it is also going to be 200. So what I'll write down below once again is total width equals 200mm. And I need to see, first of all, if I look in the position of arrow A, my elevation is going to be on the left. And it's going to be 40 plus 15, which gives me 55, plus 25 gives me 65, 75 and 80. I'm going to add on my 15mm gap, and beside my elevation is always my end view, which is going to be going on the right. And that's 15 plus 30 plus 15 gives me 60, plus 15 gives me 75. And that gives me a total of 170. Once again, take the two away from each other, leaves me 30mm, and the gaps left at the two sides, divide that by 2, gives us our 15mm there. That's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to measure in my 15 here, put my line down, then after my 15 I have my elevation, which is going on the left hand side, which is 25 plus 15 plus 40, which is my 80 there, and then a 15mm gap in between, and I then have 75, and then I have my 15mm gap at the end, which means it's nice and evenly spaced going across the page. For this question I'm not going to do the heights, as I said already I drew my XY line there. The reason being is I don't know the total height, as there's a slope here, so I took these two heights here, 25 plus 15 is 40. I've just made a rough estimate that I'm guaranteed that if I measure down there about 85mm, which is the height given for my XY line here, then I'm guaranteed it won't actually go off the page there as a result. And I'll also have loads of space below here to fit my plan. So now the first thing, my elevation, I'm going to colour in red just like my previous one. When I look in, I'm going to see this surface here, this surface here, and I'm going to see, let's colour in half and half, I'm going to see a bit of the roof there, and I'm going to see a part of this surface here as well. And up down top in green, you can see there I'm going to see the part of the roof as well. I'm going to see this section here. And I look at my end view in blue, I'm going to see this side here, and I'm also going to see part of the surface here. So you can see why I just used the colours there, just to show that this surface here appears in the elevation and the end view, looking this way and this way. So the first thing for the elevation, I'm going to take my widths first, so 25, 15 and 40. So 25, 15 and then 40 left over. And I take them up. And there are my heights. I have 25 and 15 again. So 25 there and 15 there. And I take those across. So the first part I can see here is this is a rectangle that's 25 high and 40 wide. That's this section here. I then have that section there. Sorry, I have this little section here first just to complete it. Part that appears in two views. And then I'll do the last part I was talking about. So that part there. And then I have this section here that I was talking about. Now for the actual roof, I don't know what the height of it is yet. The only way I'll be able to see it is by looking at my end view. So I'm going to leave that for now. Next thing I have is my plan. Take a 15mm gap in between my views. The plan always goes below the elevation. Take all my widths down. And then take these distances here. So 15, then 30, then 15 again, and then there's another 15 for this part here sticking out. And take all those across. When I look down top, the first thing I see are two rectangles here for the top of the roof. And the middle of the roof is going to occur along the centre of that 30 there. So what I can do is I can measure 15 there, and you'll see later on how I also got that when I draw my end view. it's going to occur in the midpoint. So I'm going to take my line down to here for one side of the roof. So that's one side of the roof there. There's my other side. So let's go on my full 15, 30, 15. The line going through the very centre of the 30. Just focus there so you can see it. So that's the halfway point between the 30 there, where the top of the roof is going to occur there. And then I'm going to have this bit sticking out here. It goes across to the 40. And then it goes in at this angle there. And that gives me my plan, looking down top. The last thing I need to do is my end view. So I take all my points at 45 degrees. And then my last one will line up automatically. And my Y point is there. And take all my heights up here. So I'm looking this way. I can see that the first thing, I can see this section here. So my line goes straight up here, goes across 15 and up in line with this line here. That then goes across a total of 30, goes back down all the way to the ground, across 15, back up there. And I have this small little section here, which is this little section there. And then I have my 30-degree line, which occurs here, and my 30-degree line there. So I get my 30-degree set square. You'll see now, I was on about earlier, how if I could just take the halfway point, 30 degrees this way, 30 degrees that way, they both pass through the very centre there. And what that does as well is it gives me the height of the roof then, so that I can take that across to here. And that gives me the height. What I'll do once again is label my views. This is my end view. This is my elevation. This is my plan. And it tells you the last thing, insert any two dimensions into the drawing. So basically picking any two measurements you want and just showing them. So for example, I could take the total length from here to here. What I do is just draw a light line across, two small heavy lines at the end, then my arrowheads, and the total length is 25 plus 15 plus 40, which gives me 80 there. And I could take, for example, this width here. I could say that there is a total of 15. That's just basically showing the two dimensions. So hopefully that video helps anybody who might have been stuck on either of those two questions.